Welcome everyone to the inaugural episode of Dave and Fraz. I am Davis Gregory and here is Aaron Fraser. And here on our first episode of our sports talk show, we will be discussing three of the biggest college football games this weekend. So let's get into it, shall we? First off on our list, we have the only ranked matchup in the SEC this weekend as the number 24 Mississippi State Bulldogs head down to Auburn, Alabama to play the 13th ranked Tigers. Mississippi State coming off a very tough loss last weekend where they were absolutely ran through by the Georgia Bulldogs from the SEC East. As for the Tigers last weekend, Auburn played up against Missouri in their first SEC game of the season, and they won in impressive fashion. And they took it to the Missouri Tigers 51-14. Auburn will be returning their star running back Cameron Petway, who has 202 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. Mississippi State quarterback Nick Fitzgerald looks to bounce back. Fitzgerald has 7 touchdowns on the season with 3 interceptions. Should be a good one this weekend, Aaron.
I couldn't agree more, Davis. This matchup is shaping up to be a good one between two young but elite programs competing for a shot at the SEC West. This could be a statement win for Auburn to prove their legitimacy as a true competitor in college football. Nick Fitzgerald is obviously looking for a comeback win against Auburn to strengthen their resume of impressive wins against SEC opponents. The loss last week to Georgia set them back a bit, but I still think that the Bulldogs are a legitimate contender in the SEC.
Definitely.
So we're going to move on to our next exciting matchup. For this week, Washington State Cougars taking on the USC Trojans. And this one is going to be a good one as well, in my opinion, as I think the Cougars possess the best QB in all of college football, which his name is Luke Falk. Luke Falk has 14 touchdowns and only 1 interception this season so far. And he's coming off a 6-touchdown game against Nevada in which the Cougars just absolutely ran over them 45-7 in that win. The whole nation is getting ready to see a potential NFL prospect taking on an elite team in USC. And I see this being a really high-scoring game, and I think the Cougars are going to come out on top 42-38. Davis, what are your thoughts?
I'm thinking Washington State has a real chance here to pull the upset here against the Trojans, and it should be a good one to watch. Sam Darnold, the quarterback for USC, has had a little bit of a lackluster year compared to what he was supposed to have, but it still has been a good year for Darnold. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, but 7 interceptions on the season. Not very good for Mr. Darnold.
It is not. Now we're kind of heading into our last game that we're going to talk about. The Virginia Tech Hokies facing the Clemson Tigers in a hard-nosed battle for the ACC. Kelly Bryant, quarterback for Clemson, and the Tigers coming off of an impressive 34-7 win against Boston College. And the Hokies paving their way through Old Dominion 38-0. This has the potential to be the best game in all of college football for this year. What are your thoughts, Davis?
Clemson probably has one of the best teams in the nation, especially defensively, as they are ranked 13th. Absolutely unstoppable the Tigers are this year on the defensive side of football. I'm taking Clemson in this one, and that will be all the time we have for today's show, folks. My name is Davis Gregory, and this is Aaron Fraser, and we will see you next time on Dave and Fraz.